So today my special guest is Tara, and Tara is in Lydia's house, and you're going to be hearing from her a little bit later in the day. And we're cooking a feast. We got our fire going outside, and we're going to be using our iron skillets and cooking some cabbage. And my mother taught me right, you don't cook anything without lots of good onions. So we're going to have some onions and some cabbage. And my grandma taught me, you don't cook much of anything without some good salt pork. Grandma lived off of salt pork. Now, as an old timer told me recently, the problem with us today and having so much salt in our diet is because we're not like the pioneers and we don't sweat it out. And so when you go to the doctor with high blood pressure or all of these different health issues, one of the things that they tell you is to lower your salt or get rid of the salt. But we're pioneer women and we sweat our salt out. So it's okay if we have a little bit of salt pork today to flavor our cabbage. My mother was telling me last week, and I never realized this before, that when she was growing up, they didn't have meat to eat during the week. They, on Sundays, if they were going to have meat, it was going to be on Sundays. And once they moved off the farm and moved to Wauchula, which they considered the city because they had always lived in North Alabama in the country, when they came to city life here in Big Wauchula, then they would invite the preacher. I hear that snicker. They would invite the preacher over from the Nazarene church for Sunday dinners, and that's when Grandma would have meat. And I didn't ask my mother, but I couldn't help but wonder how many of the children sat there and looked at that preacher and wondered, how much meat are you going to eat today? Because this is the only day we get meat. We're so blessed here in America today that meat is something that we take for granted, and it's a blessing that we enjoy. We really need to revisit the good old days and learn to appreciate everything that we have.